ever wondered what it would be like if the world goes on a nuclear war? What about the casualties, the food shortages, and what on earth would be the safest place to survive? Well, according to the experts, if a small nuclear war occurs, it would directly affect 250 million people, and due to shortages in food and regional conflicts, the number will reach 5 billion, which is shockingly more than half of the total population of Earth. So where to go in such case, and what are the security measures that can help you out to survive after a nuclear attack? If you are new on my channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and don't forget to share this video in your circle. According to research, Australia and New Zealand would be the safest place on Earth to stay fed and nourished. The data produced by international research states 6 scenarios of nuclear wars. The first one between the enemies Pakistan and India that could never be on good terms since the last 7 decades. The largest threat of nuclear war is from USA and Russia, involving other major states such as China, United Kingdom, Japan, Germany, and France. Apart from the deaths and destruction, another challenge that humanity would face is the soot. The nuclear explosions will cause millions of tons of soot to produce that will rise in the atmosphere and make the atmosphere temperature cool down, that will in turn cause the crops to die. A professor at Queensland University, Dr. Ryan Hannigan, says that the effect of soot has been observed in the past as well. He refers this to the volcanic eruptions that caused the food shortages and also the Australian bushfires of the years 2019 and 2020 that released huge amount of soot into the southern hemisphere, making the region cool down by a fraction of degree. As per the researchers, due to the destruction and climate change, more food from the fisheries, livestock, and crops will lost than what is required for the humanity. This is very strange and will cause further stress in the society. It is said that around 164 million people will die from the bomb blast directly, and within 2 years another 2.5 billion would die out of starvation as a result of India-Pakistan nuclear war. Whereas the war between USA and Russia can cause 360 million deaths at the spot, while wiping another 5 billion in the following 2 years due to the same food shortage issue. According to Hannigan, this would be the first time in modern history that the world would experience food shortages. Although it is believed that there is yet enough food for everyone, but in reality, only New Zealand and Australia would be able to feed their populations. Do you want to know why? Well, the first reason is the location. Almost all countries with the nuclear weapons are located in the northern hemisphere. It is very unlikely that southern region will experience any major nuclear war. The second reason is the type of food grown in Australia. Australia is an agrarian society that grows enough food to sustain its people as well as to export it to other countries. In the times of war, countries will stop trading food and will prefer feeding its own people first. So despite the decline in the production, Australia would have enough food to provide to its people. If we look closely, wheat is unaffected by minor temperature changes and can grow in cold environments too. So it will have no change in production even in nuclear winter, and wheat contributes to the 50% of Australian diet. But there is also a challenge for Australia despite being food sufficient. That is, it is not adequate in fuel, so it is dependent on others for fuel purchase. So the distribution of the food in the region would be a great challenge. Another test would be the migration. People from nearby countries that could not get enough food would migrate to Australia, causing refugee and after-conflict problems. You must be wondering that why not distribute all the resources equally among the world? Well, this is just one side of the story. The reality is the natural resources would be cut down too, such as roots, raw materials, etc. If a nuclear weapon is about to explode, here's what a safety profession says you can do to survive. All nuclear blasts are noticed through some effects, and if you know what you are dealing with, it can help you stay safe. The first 3 effects are very fast. as they travel with the speed of light and the radiations remain for few seconds only. But the burn and damage they cause is destructive. Among the other effects, the air blast is the most damaging as it goes to the longer distances, making the building to shatter and vehicles to tumble. Right after this destruction takes place, the radioactive fallout occurs, which was by this time in the atmosphere. The power of nuclear bomb is not infinite as most people think, but it depends on the type and area of the explosion. So a relief is that people can survive it. Some experts say that although nuclear weapons are destructive, but their most terrible effects are limited to zones, and it is possible to survive its after effects. Chances of survival increases if the warning is given before the blast, such as Hawaii's ballistic missile threat system provides. The best way is to seek shelter to the most central room of the building that is away from walls, windows, and openings so you do not cut yourself from the flying glass. People must stay indoors in first floor or in basements to avoid thermal burns. In case of missile attack, try to get to a place that is easier to escape. The best is to be in a room that is empty so the furniture and ceiling does not fall on you when there is a jolt such as under the stairs. Staying indoor will stop the radiations reaching you directly, otherwise they can limit your body to function causing acute radiation sickness. The radiation of the blast is 100 times more than what an average American receives in a whole year. A blast of 10 kiloton can produce 750 millisieverts of exposure in less than an hour after the blast. The best way to be safe is to put as much blocking material between you and the radiations as possible, such as cat defense of walls, cement, steel, and other radiation absorbing material. How to avoid radioactive fallout after an explosion? It is said that there are two zones, one is dark purple, which is more dangerous, and the other is faint purple, which is less dangerous than the other. The first one shrinks quickly, while the other takes around 24 hours to shrink back to normality. It is very important to keep away from radioactive fallout, as it is a deadly mixture of fusion products such as radioisotopes. These particles are created by splitting atoms in the explosion. After the blast, these particles are pushed high into the sky as sand-sized particles, and then it takes them 15 minutes to fall back to the ground, causing more destruction. The winds make it spread and reach further areas too, but these are more intense in the areas of the explosion. These products that fall to ground split further as well. The release of gamma rays that are very radioactive when they penetrate a human body, they inflict harm to the organs. If a person survives the first 24 hours of the fallout, chances of future survival are high, as it is the time of forest radiation. Even if the building you are in is not well built, you are advised to move to a place with basement and strength so you can have maximum safety measures from the fallout after the blast. This should be done within the 15 minutes of the explosion so you can stay away from the radioactive fallout. The basement should have a lot of cement and sand so they can absorb maximum radiation. The other good option to seek refuge is the middle floor of the building, as the first or the ground floor would have the highest amount of radioactive particles from the fallout. Other ways for making out of a nuclear disaster alive. There are many more strategies to increase your odds of survival, such as having an emergency kit that will help you with the basics such as wounds, etc. It is best suited to tape your windows entry with plastic if they are broken. Also switch off any mode of air transfer such as heating or cooling systems. Try to consume food items that are packed so they do not have radiation. And if you have been exposed to fallout, there is a process to remove that radioactive contamination. Take off the clothes that are exposed to radiation and take them away from your place of hiding. Also wash your body with soap or shampoo to remove any particles. Blow your nose and clean out your eyes, ears, mouth with water. The only way people can save is to seek shelter that doesn't have glass or other harmful substance. because the survivors of the Hiroshima blast were injured badly due to the glass particles that were exploded. Thus, it is best to be in a strong windowless place till the radiations are over. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe so you never miss it when we upload a new video. You can drop your recommendations and comment of what you wanna see us make in the next video. On that note, thanks for watching, we'll catch you in the next one.